Good morning, everyone. I'll start by doing a quick hands check. Any Amex customers here? Any users of the app? Wow, we've got an amazing audience today. I'm very excited today to tell you about a bit of a story, really a story of the latest evolution that we've done to the Amex mobile app. Before I go into that, I just a bit of a recap of me and why I'm here in the first place. I lead mobile and web product strategy for Amex. I've been doing product for more than 15 years now. My career has really been focused on two things, mobile apps and digital strategy. I'm based in London. I spent a bit of time working in the US as well. Now, Amex Mobile and where we are today. We had a fantastic presentation on strategy and vision just now. And just so you know what our vision and really the North Star for the team is, we've really been on this quest to set the standard out there for mobile apps. And when I say the standard, this really goes beyond financial products. So we really look beyond our traditional competitors. And if you use the app, or if you can just have a look at the app behind me, what you will see is how our app functions and how it looks like is very different from your standard financial app. In fact, it looks a lot more like the apps that we love or we love to hate, like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. So there's our interpretation of having a feed within the app. Now, we've come a long way when it comes to achieving this vision. We've got millions of daily users, and they're increasingly satisfied. Long gone are the days where the app was kind of this new thing, this nascent channel. The app has now been the main interaction channel for Amex for years now. It's truly a growth engine for us. But I'd say what gives me even more pleasure, if you like, is the fact that our customers are increasingly satisfied. This is from both internal and external data. We've got 76% of our app users are highly satisfied. If you're going to add those who are even satisfied, that number will grow to 95, 96%. And also from an external perspective, we've won several awards globally. Last year in the US, we won the Best Credit Card App award from J.D. Power, which is an award that we've won several times in years prior. How we got here? It took us time, actually. And since the inception, what we've been doing is we've been in this continuous evolution, really addressing different opportunities. I've seen a lot of it. I've been working on the app for more than 10 years now. And what you can see on the left-hand side is really how the app used to look like back in the day. So yeah, mobile apps were that ugly back in 2010. Probably you don't remember now. But the interesting thing is all of the things that we've been building along the way and how foundational they are when it comes to pushing the envelope moving forward. So we've got a global scalable architecture. What that means is the app is available in 20+ countries around the world. So we've got this architecture that really enables us to launch features and functionality very quickly across the globe. We also grew the app from just being a very simple servicing tool, I'm going to call it, to be a very comprehensive tool and really a channel on its own that really tries to bring the best that Amex has for you as a customer. One of the things that we had to do along the way, and we keep doing as well, is really balance the focus between what people would call enterprise and customer needs. And really where we netted out is the fact that the best way to drive enterprise value is to really meet your customers with the needs that they've got. I will spend some time today telling you about our product framework, and I'm going to call it our product recipe. But lastly, I would be amiss not to mention that ultimately you need a great team. And a great team is not just an awesome product team. It is product, design, engineering, analytics, and even the stakeholders as well. So it is truly 100% a collaborative effort. I think it's just a few of us, so I can probably share our product recipe. But the long story short is our success really stems from our never-ending search for growth. Also, we really stand behind the Amex promise for a great customer experience, and we've got a relentless willingness to learn from failure. The recipe is very simple, and I think that's the beauty of this one, or the framework. You need to ideate, grow, and evolve. And really what that means is you need to start with solving a problem, maybe finding an opportunity, come up with a bunch of hypotheses, put them to the test. That's where the growth phase came to the picture. Hopefully you can drive results. If you don't drive results, don't worry. You can actually go back to the drawing board and pivot. In fact, I'd say that it's good news that sometimes your hypotheses don't hold true. It's a very healthy sign that you're also pushing things with your thinking. So this is by no means a linear journey. It's way messier than what you can see here in the slide. And ultimately, if data starting to look good, things settle with customers, etc., now is the time to say, OK, now what? So you need to keep repeating this over and over and over again, and never get tired of it. Now, this is really underpinned by 3 pillars. Number 1 is a culture that really encourages autonomy and focus. We are big believers in the squad-based model. I know that there are different opinions out there in the industry, but the notion of having a group of people just being accountable for either a part of the experience, a given outcome, etc., I personally think that is a very powerful thing. I mentioned the fact earlier that it's all a collective effort. I truly meant it. One team, one dream, really product design, engineering, analytics, working together. And ultimately, you need to have this desire to keep evolving and really looking for what is the next opportunity. Today, I'm really going to focus on the latest redesign, the latest evolution of the app. And really, the opportunity for us was, OK, we got to a point where we had too many features in the app. Can you believe that? Sounds counterintuitive. But the reality is that as you've got many features, pieces of functionality within a given digital product, what happens is you create pressure on discoverability and engagement. So the 2 themes that emerged when we did the analysis in terms of what is next for us was we need to work harder to improve discoverability and engagement depth. And also, we need to evolve alongside how American Express was deciding to evolve. And at the time was the launch of banking products in the US market. So talking about discoverability and engagement depth, really what that meant for us is we need to work way harder for customers to help them find what they needed. Really, you can see our tab bar structure back then and the relative engagement. And kind of the irony here is sometimes your biggest asset can become a bit of a liability. So what was happening for us is we were giving customers everything they truly needed on the front screen or the home screen of the app. And that was really hurting the depth of engagement to other parts of the experience. So if there's one key takeaway here is a little bit of friction sometimes is helpful, believe it or not. The second part is, OK, the company decided to move to banking products alongside our traditional car products. So we saw this as the best moment, really, to scale the framework, really start designing the app around customers rather than car members. And what it turned out to be is really not just a framework that scaled very well for this new type of product, but it will really help us scale for any new products in the future and also support all of the growth that we've been seeing for the app. The journey. So here's how we went about it. We used a parallel discovery track, and we also had a standard BAU delivery track. Now, one small digression on a discovery track and one plug for dual track agile delivery. I think it works wonders. And the whole notion of it is at any point in time, you should have 2 tracks going on in your product team. One that really focuses on the future, really envisioning and discovery, looking ahead, 12 months time, 18 months time, etc. And you've got a separate, in parallel BAU delivery track. So what we did is we had that discovery track, and really a bunch of ideas emerged. So we figured that we need to make the information architecture customer-centric. That sounds fair enough. We also figured that we had to streamline the layout, create power shortcuts, and really try to improve discoverability for our customers. There was clearly an opportunity to do a design overhaul and elevate our visual identity. And obviously, the American Express app being very financially focused, we had to work on improving financial clarity, which was an area that we had, to be honest, really struggled over the years. But most importantly, we leveraged our UK app to prove all of those hypotheses, was not really impacting the overall value that we were driving from the Amex mobile channel and the US market in particular. And the learning here really is when it comes to experimentation, you need to have something in your product toolkit. It varies company to company that really help you prove your hypothesis. And I think that's what really experimentation is very helpful for, is really to prove or disprove your hypothesis. It could be running A/B test. It could be like what we did using the UK market, which is relatively smaller compared to the US market for us as a launchpad. So we had a bunch of key hypotheses on discoverability and engagement. We kept a very close eye to data. So going back to the framework, if you remember, this was the time to hopefully drive results. At the very beginning, the results didn't really look that good, so we had to go back to the drawing board several times. And once that we were very confident and data was telling us that we were on the right track, what we did is we didn't bring all of these changes in one big bang. So we released it in chunks. So we were very iterative and gradual in terms of how we launched this in the UK market, the US market, but also globally. I would also like to highlight the importance of design and user research for this particular evolution, but really for the future of our experience. We created a native design language that really tries to bring together the best-in-class visual look and feel and mobile patterns. It also helps with development, cross-functional collaboration, and it ensures that there is consistency for our customers when it comes to the overall experience. It's really built off the native considerations of the two mobile platforms. So actually, Google and Apple make it kind of easy for you to create good app experiences. And on top of that, we put the Amex very own brand platform. Now, you may be wondering, did this work at all? Actually, it did. And maybe that's the reason why I'm here in the first place. But at the end of the day, we transformed the overall experience. There was no disruption to how the app was operating as a channel. We improved CSAT. We leveraged the UK app to test our hypotheses. As I said, this is how it all started. And this is how it's going. So pretty good, I'd say. Now, I figured that probably a video could do a much better job than me really bringing to life how this looks like for customers. So I brought a short video for you today. Enjoy. case you're wondering what 7.0 means, it was the code name that we had internally for this new redesign. At some point, we called it 7-Up, if you remember the brand. Anyway, so going back to the framework and our product recipe, now what? As our product offering evolves, we've really been working through creating a coherent family of apps. We used to have one app, what I would call the core Amex mobile app. That's the app that my team runs with, and probably the app that you all use. And now we are really thinking about what is the Amex family of apps. What's a family of apps anyway? It's really a set of apps with related functions. They usually belong to the same company. And the two most important things about a good family of apps is they need to work with each other, and they need to help each other. So think about interoperability. And they all need to have a very clear value proposition. If you are wondering what I really mean, think about the Meta family of apps, think about the Google suite of apps, and so on and so forth. So really, in the context of Amex, what that means is, historically, we used to have one app, the core Amex app, that is for all customers, all things that we've got to offer to you, so all customers' membership. We now have a commercial app that is more focused on some specialized use cases for small and medium enterprises. Think about cash flow management, supplier payments, etc. And this also gives room for any adjacent businesses that we can have as an enterprise in the future. Right now, we've got an adjacent business that focuses on dining, Resi, and there's a separate app for Resi. There's obviously a lot more that we are working through. I wish I could tell you more about it, so hopefully I can get invited in the future and tell you all. And for now, it's all from me. Thanks a lot.